All right. Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Corpus Christi Originals Podcast. Back at it again. This is the Corpus and Coffee edition since we're going on the road outside the studio. We are at Lupe's spot here. Choose wisely. 5802 Woodridge inside Texas Arena. And the brew of the day is Abundantly Brewed. They got a spot upstairs, 5802. Check them out. I got the white mocha. Good stuff here, you guys. Check them out. So, Lupe, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking.
Nice to meet you, dude.
Yeah, no, for sure,
For
bro.
real. Yeah,
For
I was
sure.
in contact with your cousin Zay.
Okay.
That's cool. Are y'all really cousins?
Yeah, well, so his grandma used to be my dad's girlfriend.
Okay.
When we were growing up, but she was there for like the majority of my childhood, so I always referred to her as my mom in a sense, you know.
Nice.
So yeah, we met that way. Zay must have been probably 5-6 years old when I met him, and I always looked at him like as a nephew. I'm not trying to nephew, bro, but I always looked at him as a nephew when we were kids growing up, and now he's cuz, you know.
Nice,
We
dude.
both older now, so.
That's dope, bro. That's
Yes,
dope.
sir.
So, just for the people that don't know who
Yep.
you are, what you do, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Lupe Ramos. I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm a native from here, born and raised. I'm a lot of things, man. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a child of God. I'm a graphic designer. I do a lot of things, man. I wear a lot of hats. But yeah, that's basically what I do, man.
Yeah. So, when did you decide, hey, I don't want to do a 9 to 5. I want to have all these hats instead of just one?
Yeah, that was in 2020. I want to say it was at the tail end of 2020 after COVID happened. That's when I came to the conclusion that I just wanted something else, you know. That wasn't necessarily a rough year. But that year caused me to think about a lot of things in a different perspective.
Wow.
To where I was like, okay, if this were to happen again, would my family be straight? You know?
Oh.
So that caused me to take a whole different route than what I was doing before.
So,
you know?
so you were out of job, like you weren't working. Did COVID do that, or?
Yeah, no, I was working, but it was what did they call it? What type of personnel?
Essential
workers,
right?
right? Essential personnel. At that time, I was working sales at a gym out in the valley, and thankfully they continued to pay us a certain percentage of our check while COVID was happening. But it wasn't. I wasn't in charge of what I was being paid, and that's what made me realize, okay, I don't have this in my own hands.
Wow.
There's no control over this, you know.
Oh man, your jewelry looks fresh, bro. You look,
Appreciate
you
it.
look
Man.
nice.
I appreciate it. That's my grandma right there.
Hell
Rest
yeah,
in peace
bro.
to my grandma.
Definitely, man.
Thank you, bro. I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
yeah. So, what was I gonna say? So, did you go to school for business? You were in the Navy, dude. That's impressive.
Yes,
That's
for
impressive to me. I had wanted to at one point get into the military, and it's like a kind of a regret that I had. You know what I mean? But I didn't really think about it until like in my late 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not in
Yep.
early. But that's definitely impressive to me, man. So
For sure.
is that do you take that with you throughout your walk after that? Like, I mean, what was the whole inspiration in wanting to get into the service?
100%. So, I carry that with me in everything that I do. You know, it's definitely a part of my life. I learned a lot of discipline. Learned a lot of respect. I'm always been a big person of respect since I was a kid. That kind of amplified it. And I've always been a huge person of, actually, one thing that I got out of it the most was networking, you know.
Oh, wow.
But in regards to what led me into the service, I grew up, my grandma raised me since I was 2 years old. I grew up in her household. My moms and pops were kind of both in and out of my life as a child. They were already separated before I was even born. They were separated. They were divorced
Wow.
before the last two kids that they had were born.
Wow.
So
Well, dude,
growing
there's
up,
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, man. Like
Absolutely.
my parents are divorced too. I have one brother that's same mom, same dad.
Mm-hmm.
Different brothers from my dad's side and my mom's side,
Yep.
and it's like not uncommon around here.
No,
Dude.
for sure. So yeah, I grew up with my grandma. She taught me a lot of different things. Not necessarily teaching me per se, but I observed a lot as I was growing up with her. She was definitely strict on me. She was definitely a hustler. My grandpa passed away when I was 9 years old.
Wow.
And between the time that my grandpa passed away and when my grandma passed away was almost 20 years. So she held it down for a long time
Wow.
after he left. So,
What-
go ahead.
Yeah, did you have like trouble like dealing with authority figures that were male?
No, not and
Because since your grandmother was kind of there most, seems like it.
yeah, that's tough, man. You know, that's really tough because I don't even till this day, I don't look at people as authority figures. Like I feel like authority is such a strong word, and I
Mm.
feel like that takes away from how you view yourself as a person, you know.
Wow.
And I say that because like I said, growing up with my under my grandma, she was super strict. I it was respect though. It wasn't like my grandma was an authority figure. She was just strict, and I
Okay.
understood why she was strict. That led me going into the military because I didn't want to. I found myself as a kid always doing things to kind of make her proud,
Mm.
So I excelled in a lot of things. I excelled in my sports. My grades were not the best, but I did graduate with honors. And that was really just to show to my grandma that I could do it,
Mm.
As far as role models go, I embraced a lot of my coaches, like as far as male figures in my life,
Mm.
coaches, teachers I really looked up to. Never really perceived them as authority figures, right? Even when I was in the military.
Well, okay, so
Go ahead.
I'm confused.
Hmm.
I get that we have two definitions of authority
Sure.
figures. Well, what do you consider an authority figure?
An authority figure to me is someone who thinks that they're above you in a
Okay,
sense. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I'm thinking authority figure like people that are like coaches, teachers, and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay, cool.
So yeah, no,
Yeah,
but
you,
yeah,
you see, I would refer to them as role models
okay,
or
okay.
male figure. Just the word. I guess the word authority is
Yeah, yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like triggering for me in a
That's what I
sense,
mean.
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, was it difficult growing up in a mother household
Uh huh.
when say somebody that claims to have authority,
Yeah.
or like using it to their advantage or to manipulate and stuff like that? Could you tell? You know what I mean? That they're trying to one up me
A
on
hundred
this. You know what
percent.
I mean?
A hundred
And how
percent.
would you deal with it too
Uh
at,
huh.
at the same time?
Yeah, so I never dealt with that as a child or even as a young adult, but I did deal with it when I was in the service.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Absolutely, 100% in the service. Because growing up, I was always raised on, hey, you treat people how you want to be treated.
Hmm.
You respect the people in front of you. Sorry about that.
That's good.
You respect the people, anyone, whether they're family, elderly, whatever the case might be. And so going into the military, where I'm used to respecting and being respected by anyone and everyone, it wasn't like that in the service
Oh, sure.
because people who've been in longer or people who have a higher rank, they expect you to respect them
Mm,
because of their rank. I didn't grow up that way. I
yeah.
was taught you treat people right, you respect them, they're going to respect you. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I did have a lot of tough times that I could recall while I was serving in the military
Mm,
from people who thought they were above me. In a sense, they were, as far as rank goes and stuff like that.
right.
But I also gravitated towards and was gravitated by a lot of people who respected me for always being who I was, regardless of their rank, whether they were higher up
Yeah.
or whether they were lower than me or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to Lito,
Yep.
Respond If You Please podcast. He
Yep.
was over here the other day. Y'all touched on a subject about our kids, the people, the youth in our city and stuff like that. And it's
Yep.
like how do they handle people that are in that authority position as
Yeah.
well? Because a lot of them are maybe raised by their mothers.
Yep.
And this male figure comes along like, well, you can't tell me what to do or whatever
Yeah.
type of stuff. You know what I mean? It's
For
how do
sure.
we
It's like,
have that respect like you had? Because I was raised like that too, man.
Yeah.
My dad was like, yes sir, no, yes ma'am.
Yeah. Same here.
That type of stuff. It's like, how do we get our culture on that side so that we can continue to progress as a society? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? What are your thoughts on that?
So I think it's all about finding common ground, man. I'm no stranger to um, admitting my faults and admitting my shortcomings and my failures, because ultimately it was through those things that I've been able to grow, both personally and within my business.
Mm,
And but at the same time, I think by doing that, it lets people know, like, hey, well, this guy's not perfect. In a sense, it gives people more. They're more willing to come to me and open up to me about what their experience is currently is, you know.
Because of how you treated them at the onset.
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely. Not only that, but because I let people know, like, hey, I'm not perfect. Like, social media, don't let social media fool you. You know, there's demons that I fight every day, just like anybody else. I'm still a work in progress. God is still working on me. As much as I say that a lot, but it's very true. He's always working on me. I am not perfect. I never claimed to be, but it's because of that that I feel like people will gravitate towards me. Like, hey, I'm not perfect either.
What were you like before your life with God and stuff like that? Because you have seems like you're not religious, but you have that type of lifestyle right now. What was
Sure.
it like before that?
Yeah, so I've always, in a sense, had a relationship with God, man. So I can't speak on like how was it before because ever since I was a kid, I always spoke to Him. I understand Him in a whole different light now because I've been studious of it. I've been willing to go out and attain more information in regards to what my belief is. But going back to when I was a kid, bro. My life wasn't perfect either. Just because I grew up with my grandma because she raised me doesn't mean that things were perfect. I grew up with a lot of pain. I grew up with a lot of hurt. I grew up with abandonment issues. I grew up feeling lonely. I grew up feeling like I wasn't loved. Like these are feelings that I had as a child that I couldn't go and speak to anybody about. It's not like I could go to my grandma's room. Hey, grandma, I feel lonely. Hey, grandma, why don't my parents love me? Hey, grandma, why do I feel
You
this?
so you
I
felt like
couldn't.
you felt like you couldn't
Yes, and I say that because my grandma was
because of
strict.
the way she was.
My grandma was strict. She's old school, you know. She probably would have. See, it was never even a thought for me to go and have those type of conversations with her. Basically because I feel like she would have probably told me to get the hell out of her room or something, you
Wow,
know.
crazy, bro.
And I'm not putting nothing bad on my grandma or anything like that because
Course.
it's because of her that I've become the person I am, and she had a lot to do with my upbringing, absolutely, you know. And she didn't have to raise me; it wasn't her job. She didn't have to do anything that she did with me, but she did. She chose to, and at the same time, she was raising me the best that she knew how,
Right.
you know. So I completely understand that. But go ahead.
How many brothers and sisters were in that same household
Oh
at the
man.
time?
So I grew up. I have four older sisters. I'm the youngest. I'm the only male. But I didn't grow up with any of my sisters except one, and that was only for about 11 years of our life. And then she
Wow.
got sent to my mom's house because she was acting up, you know. And but I did grow up with a lot of cousins going through the house. I was the one who stayed there the longest out of anyone who my grandma raised, you know. So I did grow up
Wow.
with other cousins within the same household and things of that nature. So
Yeah, I can imagine being a grandmother having to raise one of her grandkids.
for
You know what I
sure,
mean? Like
for sure.
the frustration that can probably come with that. You know what I mean? And maybe possibly looking from her side of the story,
Yeah.
like, dang, I gotta raise. You know what I mean?
No,
I can't imagine
absolutely.
having to do that. You know?
Absolutely. That's tough, man. And it wasn't her responsibility at the end of the day, you know. So I'm very grateful for having my grandmother in my life. She definitely put me on the right track for a lot of things, you know.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. So okay, so you grew up in Corpus Christi,
Yes.
Texas.
Uh-huh.
All right. Are you? So you're not from Corpus? Are you from
Yeah, no,
Corpus?
I'm born and raised here.
No kidding,
I
bro.
grew up right there on the Virginia, on the west side on Virginia and Cub, right across the street from Roshaw Elementary, the old school Roshaw.
Okay.
So yeah, I went to Roshaw, went to Martin, went to Moody, graduated from there. So that's always been home for
Moody,
me.
bro.
Yeah,
Golly. Dude,
yeah,
I've interviewed so many people from Moody, man,
yeah,
and they're all doing stuff like you're like entrepreneur type
yeah.
stuff, dude. It's
That's cool,
amazing.
man.
It's like what's going on over there at
Yeah,
Moody. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the guy that owns this place or that
Yep.
was he went to Moody also, and it's just amazing to me that we can have that. We can still come out of that mindset,
For sure.
that mentality of being Hispanic in South Texas, that type of mold that we, you know, that we had to break. And then thinking about like our uncles and aunts and what they had to go through,
Yeah,
that type of
for sure.
stuff right there, man. So you grew up in Corpus Christi, went to those places. Choose wisely. What's can tell us more about your brand or what you got going?
Yeah, you know, so choose wisely. That was probably my third name that I came up with when I
Okay.
was doing a brand. You know, when I got out the military in 2013, and you know, on my transition out, I was thinking already, okay, what's my next step? You know, I'm always trying to think, what's next? What's the next step? I always have to have like a carrot dangling in front of me, bro. Like that's what moves me, you know.
Wow.
Like what's next? I can't be idle. I don't like doing
How come?
nothing.
What, do you
But
know yourself?
because whenever I was a kid, bro, everything roots from when I was a child.
Okay.
I couldn't even sit in my room and watch cartoons. You know what I'm saying? Like there was times where I did, but then
Like
yes,
doing
ma'am.
something?
Yes, ma'am. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Watching TV. Go outside. We need to do this, or this
Damn.
needs to get done, or go blow the driveway, or cut the yard, whatever the case might be. You know.
Do you think that was a good lesson?
Oh man.
Looking back now?
You know, I think 100%, absolutely. But it's also a gift and a curse, man. Because I'm constantly on my children now too, you
Right,
know.
right.
But
Okay,
at the
okay.
same time, I allowed them to rest and I allowed them to be a child too, because I go back to those times and I'm like, man, my grandma was always knocking on my door, asking me to go do something, you know. But in the long run, I would say that was a really good thing because she taught me responsibility. She taught me how to be disciplined, you know. And it's not like she was talking to me and saying, hey, this is your responsibility. This is what this means. Like she was just telling me to do these things. As an adult looking
Oh,
back,
wow.
I realized like, hey, that was responsibility. You know? But
Like,
yeah,
don't ask questions, just do it.
just do it, bro.
Dang,
You know.
for real.
So that's the household that I grew up in, and I say it's a gift and a curse because the way I raise my children too, bro. I got a 12-year-old son, and he's such a great kid, man. And you know, it trips me out because I don't have to tell him to do nothing. He's already, dude. Earlier, like he wakes up, he does his bed. He's in homeschool, so he gets on the computer. He does what he has to do. I give him allowance. I was never given an allowance. You know? My allowance was food in my stomach, with the light on. I had water to take a shower, a roof to live under. That was my allowance. So my son, he does so many things around the house that I never have to ask him to do anything. So it gets to the point to where I take out my wallet. Hey, here, son, here. You know what I mean? And he takes whatever I give him.
Wow.
And this last time, bro, I was like, I seen him cleaning around. I said, hey, son, what's up, Dad? I said, you want some Robux? And he was like, yeah, I'll take some. I said, $10 or what? Bro, this is the first time he ever tries to negotiate with me.
Wow.
So he says, what about 20?
Oh, shoot.
So I look at him, I said, you know what? For every push-up you could do, I'll give you $1.
Hey, work for it.
So, you know, because when my son was growing up, he was one of them kids, bro, where he wasn't too confident in himself, and he would use those words, I can't.
Wow.
And those words are powerful, man.
Sure.
Whether you're successful and this is for everyone watching, you guys, like the trick to life, the secret code is it's in your words, man. What you choose to say, this is how I take on Choose Wisely also, right? Like death and life and death are in the power of the tongue, you know. So the words that you speak, those manifest into reality, you know. So I've always, since I was a kid. I don't mean to go back and forth, bro, but
okay.
to go back to I just recalled right now to go back to your question earlier about how things were before I got into God, right? This is where I was getting at. So growing up with all the bad emotions that I had, I couldn't go to my grandma and talk to her about these things. So I would go across the street to this field, and this field is there was a playground and then there was an open field. That field right there, I would go in there and I would sit down in the tall grass and I would just talk to God, bro.
Wow.
I was 8, 9 years old and I would cry. I would cry to him and I would talk to him. And for some reason, bro, I always left those convos with this calmness, saying, you know what, one day it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Like I've always lived my life that way. So I've always had a relationship with God, bro. Like I grew up in the Catholic Church because my grandmother, right? I'm not a Catholic now, you know, and nothing against Catholics. It's just that I'm taking a whole different walk in my faith, you know.
Yeah.
And it's something that I could choose now. It's not, hey, get up, we got to go to church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I was raised. I was tied to my grandma's hip when I was a kid, bro.
Yeah, dude.
And so I went to church with her. I did all of that. But you know, as a business owner now, as a human being, bro, like I've always been somewhat positive. I've always been a positive thinker, you know. Throwing God into the mix of that is just a whole different dynamic. Like
Wow.
I don't stress about anything, bro. Like issues come up all the time. Car issues come up or whatever the case might be. And I have this ease to myself now to where it's gonna get taken care of.
Wow.
I have faith that there's nothing, you know, obstacles come up, it's just another speed bump. I'm gonna get through it. You know?
Yeah, what would you tell the people that think that you're bulletproof? because
Oh man.
you know what I mean. A lot of
Yeah.
times,
Go ahead.
nah, I was just giving you time to think about formulate some thoughts, but it seems like you got them already.
No. So as far as bulletproof, what do you mean by that exactly?
Like, okay, people might see you from the outside. Oh, he's got a brand. He's got this. Because social media can show you the outside.
Sure.
What's it, and it can make you look like, oh, you're the perfect dude doing this, doing this. He got his family, got it, this and this and that.
Yeah.
But we know that that's not
It's not true.
the big picture. You
For
know what I mean?
sure.
So, what would you say to somebody that might think, oh, he's got it all together, he's got everything going?
I would say that nobody does. Nobody does, man. I mean, how old are you, brother?
43.
43. So we didn't grow up in this like social media world, you know. We grew up to where, you know, you went outside and you played and you rode your
Yeah.
bike with your friends and my son, I was driving home one day, bro. My son was probably like 2 miles from the house, right?
Yeah.
And I rolled down the window and I said, "Man, what are you doing, boy?" He was like riding my bike. I said, "Meet me at the house." I'm driving there and I'm thinking like, am I really gonna get upset with him? I was like, nah, because bro, when I was a kid, I grew up where I told you, right?
Right.
Bro, I was riding my bike all the way to downtown
Yeah,
to like
for
American Bank Center. But I knew as long as I was home by the time the lights cut off, I was good. But my grandma never knew where I was going. I was going miles away, you know. So I let my son live. I didn't tell him anything.
Yeah,
man.
man.
But as far as social media goes, man, I think we're so quick to post our wins. And again, I think the reason why I have some type of influence, man. I mean, I'm not gonna blow my head up, but I would believe and I would hope that I have some type of influence amongst anyone who has ears to listen to me, you know. But I would like for everyone to know that I'm not perfect, bro. I'm not like I said, I don't claim to be. My life isn't my life. My life is great, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like I say that, but because it's a perspective. Like life is a perspective. There's still some bad things that come up. You know, I still have shortcomings, but it's how I view those things, right? That makes your life what it is. But like I said, going back to social media, we're so quick to post our wins and this person got this new car or they're rocking this or they got a business. Like, but man, for any business owner out there, I guarantee you they'll tell you it's way more than what you think it is. Like I wish I worked the hours 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of responsibility as a business owner to my clients, to my family, to all my responsibilities. You know, and so it's tough. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and people don't see. Well, I started going live probably about a year ago, every now and then.
Okay.
And people were, hitting me up. Damn, bro, you still in the shops 2, 3 in the morning? I'm over here pressing T-shirts, knocking out these orders. Like, that's what I wanted. I wanted people to see, like, hey, this guy doesn't just own a business and he's successful. Like, this is the reason why.
Right.
And I do these things, like go live and do things like this and speak what a business to anyone willing to listen, because I want you guys to know, like, there's no difference between me and the next person, man. I'm not special. There's no secret sauce. There's no special ingredients to success. Like, the only thing I could tell you is find something that you're passionate about, chase it, and don't stop. I feel like stopping is what gets people. I mean, that's when you quit. You know, you're gonna have failures. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, right.
But learn through those failures, grow from them, become better, become stronger. But the second you stop, that's the one and only true failure, is when you stop. The reason why I've gotten where I've gotten, bro, is because I don't stop. I just keep going.
Yeah, and like even too, like it makes me think about people that don't want to start to begin with, maybe because of past fears, or even like growing up, like don't do that.
Yeah.
And but in the child's mind, they're like, but I want to try that.
Yeah.
But the parents like, no, don't do that. Maybe because whatever the parents going through, whatever the case may be, like even the person that doesn't start to begin with, like just start.
Yeah.
If it fails, it fails. You know what I
Bro,
mean? At least you tried. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
At least you tried that venture.
Absolutely.
If it doesn't work, try something else. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
That's
man.
the good thing about life and experiences. Falling down. When you ride your bike, learn how to ride your bike. You fall.
For sure.
Get up, try to keep going.
Yeah, and you know what, bro? All of us could attest to this. Like, this is when we were a kid learning to walk, right? when a baby falls on his butt after taking a couple steps, you think that baby in their head says, "Man, walking's not for me. I'm never gonna do this." Like the baby don't think that. They get back up and they continue going.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Well, not only that, they see the adults continuing to walk
There you
around,
go.
so that's their influence.
Man, yep.
And
That's 100% true.
we wanted to talk. I want to talk about how you're talking about the fentanyl on the Responded to
Yeah.
Please podcast. You're talking about how kids nowadays are doing that.
Mhm.
Who are they looking up to? Where are they
Absolutely.
getting that influence from?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And how do we flip that and
Yeah.
make them to do other things that are
Yeah.
more
Positive.
beneficial? Yeah,
Yeah.
positive, beneficial
sure.
to their lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just pray that, you know what I mean, we continue to work and move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, the way God would want us to move.
Yeah.
So as to, you know, bring His kingdom here. You know, work it out here
Yep.
while we're down here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, so man, that's
tough, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's tough.
So do you feel like all your thoughts and the way you live your life is put into your brand?
100%.
Do you feel like it needs to be a part of your brand?
100%. I believe that my brand is an extension of myself. You know, it didn't start off that way. Going back to your previous question, I know we're jumping around,
No,
but
it's all good. It's all
going back to your previous question, as far as like how Choose Wisely was started, bro. When I was coming out the military in 2013, I was thinking, what's my next step? I always been a fan of clothes, man, and I never had. You know, I remember going to school, bro, and I would see, you know, the other kids wearing new J's and having some dope stuff on, and my stuff was from Payless or Walmart. But,
Yeah.
you know what? One thing about me is I've always found a way to put something together. It wasn't the brand, it was the person wearing it, you know?
Right.
And my grandma would buy me all white shoes, and I'd buy some shoelaces, different colors, switch up the laces just to match my fit. You know? I remember I played golf when I was a kid too, bro.
Because what, like, what dressing that way makes you feel a certain way? Like, what was the drive behind that? You know what I mean? Because me, I'm just like,
Yeah.
shirt, pants, I'm good. But my wife's like, nah, you need to put
Yeah.
this. You know what I mean?
I think, bro, you know, I'm having a revelation right now speaking to you about this,
Yeah.
right? I think for me, it was like, this is my way of control. Like, because when I was a kid, I felt like I had no control, right? I didn't have control over what I didn't have control of what I did after school. You know what I'm saying? Like, but my control, my grandma never really told me, hey, you could wear this and you can't wear that, you know? So I feel like I found freedom in that.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy thinking about that now.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
And my grandma was the type of person that if you stepped out of this house, you better look good. Unless you're doing yard work or you're doing something, you know,
Yeah.
around the house, you better be clean. You better
Did she
be
tell you?
uptight.
She didn't tell you why. She just
No, bro.
This is how
I
you're
just
supposed to
followed
do it.
suit because
Damn.
my grandma, you know, whenever I started getting a little older, my grandma would come to my room and, Mijo, what do you think about this? Like, she would,
Yeah.
She would show me what she was wearing. You know what, grandma, go put on these shoes or put on this jacket.
Wow.
That was super dope, bro. But my grandma had always been someone who was like, she had a lot of pride in herself. She had a lot of pride in herself, how she looked, how she presented herself to other people. I don't want to say my grandpa was necessarily like that, but my grandma did come from that. And I feel like that got passed down to me, you know. Wherever I go, I try to make sure that I'm put together, especially now as a business owner. You know?
Yeah, for sure. So that's definitely a part of your brand and
Yep.
what you do. Wow, that's amazing, dude.
For sure. Yeah, that's crazy. I never thought about it that way. It was me feeling like I could
You
control
had some
what it was
control.
that I was
Wow,
wearing.
that's amazing, man.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
like even you might feel like you're in despair and in that darkness or whatever, but there's that little ray of light, and
Yeah.
that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be something like that. It could be different for somebody else. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Maybe like, I want to say video games, bro, because like for me, I'm ADD, and I used to like video games because it rewarded my brain really fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was kind of like my escape, like from dad telling me to go mow the lawn or go
Yeah.
help him with this,
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
You-
So
you
it's
know
just
what,
like
bro?
a way, you know.
My grandma bought a computer one year when they were still like bulky. We had them inside the living room. And, bro, you remember those school fairs we would go to, right? I used to beg my grandma, hey, can I have $5 so I could buy something? What do you want? She finally said yes, bro. I bought this BMX game for PC.
Wow.
Bro, I bought this game. I sat down. I played it for like 30 minutes. And my grandma said, that's enough of that game. You're not gonna play no more. I was like, what
No
the
more?
heck,
I
bro?
just got it.
Dude. And then when I got a 64 one time, my mom bought it for me, right? This is
Yeah.
when my mom came into my life, and My stepdad bought it for me. I brought it to Corpus. I brought it here because my mom lived in Luling,
Yeah.
and I plugged it in, bro. She came in the room. She said, you better disconnect that. That's wasting too much electricity, bro." Oh my goodness,
Dude, I
bro!
remember showing
I'm
up,
telling you,
dude. I remember
bro.
showing up to my tio's house,
Rest in
right?
peace, my grandma.
For real, bro. My cousin Roland, dude, he was playing outside on the porch.
Mhm.
One of them old school TVs, black and white, the Nintendo, bro.
Yeah.
The Super Mario Brother. One of those ones. If you jumped on the porch, it would reset the whole game.
Oh man, you have to be still, bro.
He's
Oh,
like,
man.
Jess, don't jump on the porch,
Right.
bro. I'm on level 8 right now. I'm about to pass.
Man, dude.
Yeah, remember those
So,
days, bro?
right, man, dude, throwback times.
For real.
Oh, so I was getting out of the military. Going back to our question, bro.
Yeah.
I was getting out the military in 2013, and I told myself, you know what? I've always been a fan of clothes. You know, I started collecting shoes when I was in the service, like Jordans and stuff, because I didn't have those when I was growing up. You know,
Yeah. Wow.
and so I I even went as far as opening a LLC for clothing. I called it JR's Clothing.
2013.
In 2013, bro.
Wow.
But I never did anything with it. I never done anything with it, bro.
So why did you choose clothing? How come not like taco truck or
I
gym
feel
or
like
whatever?
I feel like that was a way that I could express myself, for one, and for two, I feel like that was what I was passionate about. I think it's very important to chase what you're passionate about, man. So 2013 came around, and I just never took that step, man. I don't know if it was a lot of the self doubt, or can I do this, or how do I do this?
Did you have a
know?
lot of stuff going on at that time?
No, I just got out the service. I had just got home from a deployment, so I had saved up a lot of money while I was gone. So I kind of sat on that. That paid my bills, and then to be honest, bro, I started hustling in 2013, and I did that for about 2 years. So I didn't. Okay. When I got home, I worked at Lowe's, bro. I worked at Lowe's for probably 2 or 3 months. It wasn't for me. It wasn't the 9 to 5 thing. It just wasn't for me, bro.
Like, I
you
don't
know?
like this. You don't like
Yeah,
it, you
it
don't
just
like it.
it just wasn't for me, bro. So I kept hustling. I made money that way, and then in 2015, my life completely changed. I read this book, bro. I went to Barnes and Noble one day, and I was like, and I don't read books, bro. Like I wasn't a reader at the time. And I went to Barnes and Noble, and I found this book. It's called The 12 Gateways to Everyday Enlightenment by Dan Millman. And I picked it up, and I just started reading, bro. And I learned a lot through that book. It made me question a lot of the things that I do. And I was like, okay, is there anything that has a chokehold on me, right? And those things were weed, it was alcohol, it was hustling, it was a few things, you know, it was money. And I kept reading it, and I did like a 30-day fast or 40-day fast, I think it was. Oh no, I'm sorry, it was a 3-month fast I did away from all of these things. And as I was doing it and I was reading, light bulbs started going off in my head. I said, man, like I'm thinking clearer. I feel a lot more sharper. Then I started doing electricity sales, which is what my sister Julie, shout out to my sister Julie,
Wow.
she had did for such a long time already. She had been trying to get me into it. So I started doing electricity sales. And so I'm hustling business to business now, going to talk to business owners, selling them electricity contracts. So that took my hustle game to a whole nother
Wow.
level as far as like communication skills, being able to read body language, just sales in general, bro.
Amazing.
And it was at that job to where I became a bigger reader, because every morning we would read a book for about 10, 15 minutes. We'd give takeaways about what we learned. That job right there, bro, honestly is what got me to where I'm at now, because it was a good foundation. I was a master's student. I stripped away everything I thought I knew about sales, and I learned new things, not only about sales, but things that I could apply to my life, you know?
Right.
And I did that for about 5 years, got real good. I became corporate trainer, so I was traveling around Texas. This is whenever I had my first daughter, and I was gone Monday through Friday, home Saturday, Sunday, for a long time, you know? And yeah, bro, that just amplified the sales. I left from there, and then I went to the gym, started doing gym memberships, which was cake, because I went from going door to door talking to strangers and still doing good to
Wow.
people sitting in my chair now.
Oh, my God.
You know, so if you sat in my chair, you were sold. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
then COVID happened. I told myself, you know what? I've been making money for all these other businesses. Like, why not make money for myself, you know? So I didn't jump straight into Choose Wisely. After that, I started going to school for business, which I just got my degree in December, right? And went to school for that, learned a lot through the schooling. And then in 2022, at the end of 2022, I'm already thinking, you know what? Let me start my own brand. And I say that because I was I was pushing clothes for my sisters. I mean, for my brother-in-law, which is my wife's brother-in-law. I call him my brother-in-law. You know,
Okay, you're pushing clothes for him.
yeah, because he had his own line. It was super dope.
Trying
I
to see how long we're going.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. So he had his own line. He had his own line, and you were pushing clothes for him.
Yes. Not for him, but I would go with him to his pop-ups, and
Okay.
I'd get out there, bro, you know, and I'd hustle
Use your
some
sales
clothes.
technique, whatever. All the
Yep, because to me it was like I love sales, bro. It's the hustle, you know.
Wow.
And he at the end he would throw me a pair of shorts or something from his brand.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure,
and
man.
we went to Vegas one time to go meet with some people out there, and while we were having a drink later on that night, we sat down and I'm thinking like, okay, how am I going to approach him about this? I wanted to buy into his business, you know, because it was already established.
Oh, wow.
I was selling stuff. It was profitable already for him. So I sat down with him and he told me no. And he wasn't
Oh,
rude
shoot.
about it. He just said that he's not, at the time, he's not like taking any offers or he doesn't want anyone involved in his business. Respect, you know? But that was the moment right there when I was like, all right, cool. I've already sold for him. Let me start doing my own thing.
Wow, yeah.
So I started with hats, bro. I started selling hats. That led to T-shirts. That led to me going to school for designing, which I did for about 2.5 years. That led to me doing designs for people. That led to people coming to me to launch their own brands. Like,
Wow.
it was just this trickle down effect, bro. It was so crazy.
Amazing.
So that's where Choose Wisely started right there. It was at the end of 2022,
Oh,
and I
wow.
officially launched in about September 2023. So going on 3 years now, and every year it's just been new levels, new levels, new levels.
Wow.
Like the more I learn about this, the more excited I get. The more I'm able to help people out, and it's and ultimately, bro, aside from the money, aside from for anything else, I've been able to create a platform for myself, and I don't take that lightly because there comes responsibility with that. And you know, as a man of faith, and I'm walking my walk now, I use my clothing as a message to get the word out there. You know, I use my platform as a message to advocate for drug use, to advocate for
Oh, wow.
for drinking and driving. I try to use my platform for the good now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I didn't before, but now I feel like I have a platform to be able to do those things. And
Wow.
I just want to do right by God, do right by my family, do right by the people, you know, who look up to me, and try to lead them the right way. You know?
Are you associated with the Choose Love Foundation?
So Choose
What
Love.
is that?
So Choose Love, I launched in 2025 in the summertime last year.
Okay.
So how that came to fruition, you know, I started my walk in July 2025, and we've, you know, thankfully my wife is a great woman, man, and she's always instilled this type of like patience and love and just all good things into my kids, man, and to myself too. You know,
Yeah.
shout out to my wife.
Shout out.
And you know, one day we were leaving to go grab something to eat, and we smelled like fire, bro. It was bad. And my daughter says, "Hey, can we pull over to pray?" And I said, "Bet." My daughter was only 6 years old at the time, bro.
Wow.
She said, "Could we pull over to pray?" Yeah. So we pulled over. She said a prayer, and then we kept it going. And then on the way home, she was like, "Can we go by the house?" So we went by the house. It was right behind us, and it was bad, bro. It was a bad fire. Like it was torched, you know. And the next day, bro, she takes me to her room and she's like, "Hey, Dad, I have all these toys. Can I go take them to that family? Can we take them to that
Wow.
family because maybe they have kids?"
Oh, my God.
And I'm looking at my wife like, man, these things that she does that my kids do, without us even having to ask them or tell them, it just makes us feel great, bro. You know,
Yeah.
it's confirmation that, you know, we're doing the best that we can.
Wow.
So I go over there, I pull up, and it's a good brother of mine. I get off the car and I go introduce myself, and he was like, "You're Lupe, right?" And I was like, "What the heck?" He was like, "You're Lupe, right?" Shout out to my brother Ralph.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes, sir." He was like, "You're with Choose Wisely." I said, "Yes, sir." And he was like, "Oh man, I wanted to go by your shop so I could go and get some clothes." And I was like, "No, bro, like I came here for this." Like
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? Like he was talking to me about coming to the shop and supporting the brand, and I'm telling him like, "No, bro, like I came by so I could get your info, see what it is that we could do to help you out.
Wow.
My daughter put it on my heart to come talk to you, you know,
Man,
and
amazing.
it wasn't until later that day where my wife was like, "Hey, babe, what if you started a foundation?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "What if you, you know, you could help people, maybe once a month you give away to a family who's in need or whatever the case might be."
Mm.
And that's how Choose Love was founded, you know.
Wow, amazing.
And we've helped about 5 families since then, 4 to 5 families since then. And you know, we've raised money, we've raised donations, we used the brand to advocate for whether it was fires or whether it was drunk driving, whatever the case might be. But
Wow.
that's just uh that's just my way of trying to give back the best that I can, you know. I
Man.
feel like that I've been blessed beyond measure, bro. And who am I to not give back, you
Yeah.
know? I've always
Yeah.
been a person of abundance. I don't believe in scarcity. I believe that there's not only enough, but more than enough for all of us to eat and to go around,
Ah,
you
that's
know?
amazing, bro. It's amazing. Yeah, so the Choose Love Foundation, man.
Yep.
Man, that's amazing. It's like, how do you get to that point where you want to give instead of, take?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because we can be selfish people.
Absolutely. I could
Because
testify to that, bro.
you know what I mean,
I still have selfish ways to this day, you
yeah,
know?
and it's like, how do you? I guess you have to. It's a mindset change, man, for
Yeah.
sure. And it's like it seems like God is the way through that.
Man.
You have to see it through His eyes, which He allows us to see with the help of His Holy Spirit through Jesus Christ and that stuff like that.
100%.
It's like that's the only way that we can really figure out what we need to do
Yeah.
here while we're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With
Hey.
what we have, like for you, you're using your clothing brand,
Yeah.
or what you're doing in your day-to-day life.
Yep.
For me, like I'm a truck driver, bro. Like I can influence my kids. I can influence people that I talk to. The operate. I got a podcast. You
There
know
you
what I mean?
go.
People
Yep.
that I talk to. You know what I mean? I was thinking
Yep.
this the other day, dude. Corpus Christi Originals, the Body of Christ Originals,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, come on.
And I was like, what the
on.
heck, And God just shows these things to me, man. And it's amazing what can be done through us.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
not
we're just
rely.
vessels, man.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
For
We're,
sure.
we're vessels, man.
It's bigger than us, man. You know, we all play the main character in our own life, but it's much bigger than that, bro. Like, I think for me when I think about this, bro, it's like, how do I want to be remembered when I'm no longer here?
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? And I call that the dash. I say that because there's a day that you're born, there's a day that you die, and in the middle of that is your dash.
Oh,
What is your legacy? That's your dash. You know, like,
what'd you do with your life while you were
yep.
between that
What did
time
your
and that time?
impact? Who's gonna remember you? How they're gonna remember you? You know, and that's huge, man. And I want to be able to make a generational impact.
So your clothing brand, would you say it's like a faith-based brand, or when you started it, is that originally how you looked at it? When did you go from like just pressing shirts and hats to like an actual having meaning behind the shirts and the hats?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
So choose wisely, man. It was just a name in the beginning. It was more, you know, advocate for just making the best decision that you can. And that I feel like it was so diverse, you know, so broad that anybody who read those two simple words could say, you know what, I'm gonna choose wisely. It could be anything. Should I pop this pill? No. Should I go to church? Like, should I do this? Like, you're at the end of the day, you're left with a yes or no, you know?
Right.
And so that's how it started off. I just thought it was pretty cool, you know? And then as things progressed, and when I started walking in my faith, I was just like, man, this means something different to me now, you know? It elevated more than just some two cool words. And now it is faith based. I try to put messages within my brand now, whether it's a simple
Wow.
cross or a scripture. It's just my way to be able to go. You know, some people go out and preach, some people go out and minister.
Right.
I feel like my calling is doing clothing and putting messages on these clothes.
Creativity, man.
Creativity.
Definitely.
I don't feel like I'm in a box. You know, I feel like I have just freedom to go
Right.
out and create.
So is this your full-time job, like what you're doing here?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
man.
man.
How do you feel about that?
Great, bro. It's thank God I've been able to provide for myself and for my family, and you know, I haven't had a job since 2020, as far as, you know,
Amazing,
something
man.
like a 9 to 5. I worked other things in the meantime before, like as I was launching the brand, I would do remodeling jobs or
Mm-hmm.
plumbing or little things like that, to make enough money to finance what my dream was, and my dream is this.
Man, so
So
let's get into that. Like, so
yep.
branding, do you feel okay? So you're living off of this, which is
Hmm.
amazing, dude. Which is a lot of people, because it seems like the barrier to entry to making T-shirts and hats like that, people can
Hmm.
do it,
Yeah.
but to get to the point where you're living off of it
Hmm.
is it's a feat, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
And just to give a little bit more detail to that,
mhm.
it's just scaling, bro. That's all it is. Shout out to my brother Nick. He lives out there in San Diego. We served in the military together, and he's
Nice.
always kind of been like my advisor, my business advisor. Uh, unofficially, officially. And he's the one who I ran the name of the business by when I first started, and he's always honest with me. He lets me know when I'm messing up. He lets me
Wow.
know when something doesn't sound good, and I passed two names to him. He's like, "That's not it." I introduced Choose Wisely to him, and he was like, "That's the one." And I say that to say this. So in the very beginning when I started, I remember I telling him, "Man, bro, I made $100 doing this." Or, and he said, "Okay, you can make 100, you can make 1,000, you can make
Mm.
1,000, you can make 10,000, you can
Wow.
make 10,000, you can make 100,000."
Dang.
Like he
Wow.
put that in perspective for me. And at the time when I was still growing, I was like, "Well, can I?" You know what I mean? And then those phone calls changed. "Hey, bro, I made $1,000 today." "Hey,
Wow.
bro, I made 10 G's this month." You know what I mean? And those things. And I think by the time I got to about 10, having those combos with him,
Mm.
I told myself, you know what? Now I understand what you're saying by scaling it. And then it becomes like, okay, if you can make 10, you can make 100, 100, you can make a mil. It's just how far do you want to take it, and not necessarily how thin are you willing to stretch yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but the smart way, bro, is what systems can you put in place to be able to grow it where you want to grow it. Because
Mm-hmm.
today I'm today I have this vision of taking this to a quarter mil, more than a quarter mil, bro. Because we almost did that last year,
Wow.
and I'm wanting to scale this to 300K to 500K, and it's doable. There's
Amazing.
people out there doing it, but I also know how it looks when I put my 100% into this. I know how that looks. It looks like time away from my family.
Mm.
It looks like my health getting deteriorating. It
Wow.
looks like my stress going up and me going to the ER. I went to the ER probably 4, maybe 5 times last
Seriously,
year.
bro.
You know what I mean? I overworked myself, but I told myself last year, 2025, let me put 100% of myself in this and see where I could take it. I did that. Now my thing is like, what systems can I put in place to make even more bread and take myself out of here to give more of myself to my family?
Mm.
And the trick to that is just systems, bro. Like I'm gonna hire someone pretty soon, probably in the next 30 to 45 days.
Delegate.
Yes, that's
Okay.
it. While bro, my dream is sit at home in my living room, design, do business from there, come in here to check on quality, quality control,
Mm.
while orders still go out. That's
Amazing.
that's the plan, bro, and that's how I'm gonna be able to. That's how we are gonna be able to scale it to where we want to scale it at.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. So
Yeah.
so are most of your customers local? Like, what do your customers look like?
Yeah, so the majority of them local. I would say about 75%. I also ship out to California. I ship out to other parts of Texas as well. New York, I've shipped out there. Arizona, I've shipped out there. And again, I think being in the military has opened so many doors for me,
Mm-hmm.
because now I have a lot of veteran friends living in multiple places
Oh,
throughout the
dope.
state. So that's how I'm able to spread my wings a little bit more to these
Oh,
places.
wow.
But for the most part, local is where a lot of people come to me for business and stuff. So
Wow, that's so cool,
yeah.
man. And how much does your online store play a factor into your sales, or is it mostly word of mouth? I
Mhm.
mean, how do you get the sales out there? How do you get the sales?
So I did have an online website in 2023 that
Mm.
lasted for about a year. I currently do not have one, which I'm in the works of launching another one this year.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly through, I think what really, really got me to where I'm at is I did a lot of the footwork, bro. I hit every pop up that I could between here, San Antonio, Austin, Houston, Dallas. I've driven to all these places, bro. And I'm telling you, like, just with my wagon, with one of those cheap racks from Walmart.
Yeah.
I would put it in my wagon. I would hit up these sneaker conventions. Shout out to Blendy.
Pop-ups.
Pop-ups, bro. Shout out to Blendy because he put me into the barber scene.
Shout out.
He had a barber battle 2 years ago that I got into. Not cutting hair because I'm not a barber, but
Right.
I showed up over there, sold some shirts. I introduced myself to, and I'm huge on networking.
Right.
I introduced myself to all these barbers, and that's the majority of my clientele right now is barbers.
Nice.
But I put in the footwork, bro. There's a lot of videos that I have on my phone of just me, dragging my cart around, and it was just me by myself, going to these pop-ups
Wow.
and making a name for myself.
Wow. So that networking, that definitely, wow, that makes a huge difference.
For
dude.
sure.
So what do you tell these people? So how do you, when you're at these pop-ups, how do you network your brand?
Yeah.
Like say barbers, like how choose wisely? Is it the design? Is it the name?
Yeah.
Or is it the, what do you call it? The mission statement or something
Yeah.
like that? What is it that'll get that sale?
You know what, bro? And this is what I learned when I was doing electricity. People buy from me because they like me.
Oh,
it has
wow.
nothing to do. If the product's dope, cool, right? It has when I
Oh,
when I
my
approach
God.
somebody, bro, it has nothing to do with what I'm selling. Like I could go up to you, bro. Hey, bro, where'd you get that tattoo at?
Yeah.
That's dope, bro. What does that mean to you? Start talking to them because it's about getting personal with people first. If they love you, they're gonna buy from you, right?
Ooh.
So when people come across me or I go to them and approach them, I'm not, hey, I'm selling this shirt. Check this out. Like, nah, bro, it's talking about who are you? Where are you from? Because the brand is an extension of myself. Let you get to know me first because when you get to know me, 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to turn me down because you're already invested into me and what this means to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people purchase from me because they want to support what it means to me.
Wow.
And then the comeback people keep coming back not only because of that, but because it's dope stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
that's-
okay, so the initial sale is them liking you,
Absolutely.
and then 2,
100%.
what do you got? What else you got?
Yep.
Okay,
There you
wow,
go.
that's
But
amazing.
But by introducing myself, as far as like who I am and getting to know that person too, because I'm big on that, bro. Like I'm big on getting to know who you are because you're not just a client to me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
go ahead.
yeah, no, the people that you do sell to, once you get to know them,
Yep.
then you have is it a persona or
100. It's a personal relationship.
okay?
You know what I mean?
So good. So what I'm trying to get at is that you start to see the types of designs that they like, and then maybe you throw it on your designs, or is it still just what you design? You know what I mean? That second sell, because you're like,
Yeah.
okay, what are they gonna like out of this?
Oh no. So
How do you decide? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't really put other people in mind whenever I'm designing something. I try to stay in the state of creativeness to where when I hit a spark of inspiration, like what am I feeling right there that I could put down, So all my designs come from me really just being inspired to create something.
Okay.
I don't really design something to say, hey, you know what, this person's gonna like this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, because I'm thinking about like your customer.
Uh-huh.
Is it like, are they male? Certain age range? Do they have kids? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Do you look at that too? Like, is
100%.
my audience? I guess you can say this.
100%.
You do, okay?
Yeah, I do, and I'm real big on analytics, man. I have a book in my backpack right now that I've had the last 2 or 3 years. Every single transaction that I have in there, it's descriptive. Like, hey, so and so bought it, or I'll even go as far as like so and so has this many kids. Like, the more anything that you could measure could be improved.
Oh,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? So the reason why I've been able to grow this the way I've grown is because every year at the end of the year, I go back and open that book and I say, you know what? This many sales came from this. Like that's proven to work. So how do I amplify that moving into next year?
Amazing,
You know
dude.
what I'm saying?
Amazing. So all this game that I'm getting from you, man, because I've got my own, like, I started my own brand before
Sure.
the podcast, which the podcast came from that because I wanted to generate more content. Eventually got separated. I'm probably going to put it back together in the future.
Yeah.
But you coach people with this
Yes.
type of stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Um,
Anyone who's willing to listen, man.
yeah, okay.
I'm not a gatekeeper, never been one.
Amazing.
I had that conversation with my wife one day, and when people ask me about my stuff, where I get it from, or this and this, like I'll answer, bro, because I'll give you the game, right? But not everybody's gonna go out there and work. Not
Okay.
everyone. I could tell you where I get my stuff from. I could tell you, who does my whatever the case might be. Right. I could give you the game, but no one's gonna go out there and outwork me. This is what you know what I'm saying. And I don't look at it that way either. And if you do, when I see someone, you know, um, applying the game that I give them to me, bro, I look at that and I'm like, you're one of the ones. I'm gonna help you even more. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Because there's one of my clients. Shout out to Bando. There's one of my clients right now who he's come to me for designs for T-shirts, and hey, he's starting to cook up on his laptop now. He asks me questions. The last time he came to pick up his order, we sat down. I showed him some tricks on the laptop as far as like Adobe Illustrator goes, and I see him post what he's posting. I'm always, hey, bro, you're cooking right now. You're in the kitchen. You're doing good. This is what you're doing now.
Dope.
That takes away from him purchasing a design for me, right? Which is cool because now he's being a creative himself.
Oh.
So now it's like, bro, send me what you got. I'll get it printed. We'll model this. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like,
Amazing.
I'm very proud of bro. I'm very proud of you, Bando.
Wow, man, that's amazing. So you saw potential in him,
100%.
and you're like, definitely, we got to get this guy going.
Yep.
That's amazing, dude.
Yep.
Not a lot of people are willing to do that, and it's like, because I don't know, maybe they see it from a scarcity mindset. Because you talked about abundance, right?
Exactly,
So they're seeing it
exactly.
from a scarcity mindset. No, they can't have it because they're gonna
Exactly.
take my dollars.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And do you really think so that abundance mindset? Can I have a brand same as you? Can I work full time on my brand same as you? If we're from the same city, you know what I mean? Is that how you believe?
1,000%, bro. Like,
You think so?
how many restaurants are here?
Oh shoot.
How many tattoo artists here? How many barbers are here, bro? There's so much to go around.
Yeah, so I could say like, well, apparel's different.
Yep. But is it?
That's
there's
what I'm
there's
saying,
a
like-
lot of there's a lot of people. There's so much talent here in this city, bro. There's so much.
Which
There's
city?
so much to go
Tell the
around.
camera
In
right
Corpus Christi, Texas. Hey, city by the bay. That's where I'm from. I love this city, bro.
Oh, yeah.
This city. I've been all over the world, bro. I've traveled. I've lived in different places, and I've always gravitated towards Corpus Christi. This is where I'm from. I don't care what people say about it. I love it here. This is where I'm raising my family. This is where I'm planting my roots, and this is where I'm growing my business.
Oh,
Corpus
yeah.
Christi, Texas, bro.
So there's a lot of talent here.
Yeah,
a lot of talent
absolutely.
here, like you're saying, and there could be more than one apparel company out here working
100%.
full time. Because
100%.
you're saying there's so many different restaurants,
Yeah.
so many different tattoo artists and
Yep.
stuff like that. Why not this industry
Why
as
not?
well?
Why not, bro?
It's amazing.
Why not? Who am I to say you can't do clothes? You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yes.
You can't cut hair. I'm a barber. You shouldn't be a barber. I'm a graphic designer. What are you doing graphic designing? Nah, bro, there's so much to go around, bro.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and it's because I believe that it's because of the abundant mindset that I have that I've been able to get even more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
I'm telling you, bro, everything is
Dang.
about your thoughts. It's about your the words that you use. Like, bro, maybe I'm not someone's cup of tea, and the next designer is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You never know, bro. Like, there's a lot to go around. bro.
That's amazing thinking of
For
it
sure.
like that. Thinking about having abundance mindset, you'll have more stuff coming your way
100%.
because of that attitude.
100%, bro. And that's why I'm real big on giving back. Like, I don't give to receive. Don't get me wrong. I give because, for one, I have plenty, bro. I have plenty, and I want to be able to. You know what, man? Maybe and this was me before. I say it because this was me before. Maybe there's a kid out there who just needs an opportunity. A kid who just needs someone to believe in them.
Yeah.
A kid who if they had A, they could execute B. You know
Ooh.
what I mean? And if now where I'm at, bro, I used to be that kid who wish I had this, I could do this. Now I'm that person I wish I had, and maybe I could give so
Oh.
that they could go ahead and bro, people just need someone to believe in them sometimes. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
And as far as the game giving and all that, bro, you know, when I got on my first ship back in 2010, I had my OG. Shout out to Big Baby from Alabama.
Shout out.
You know, I had my OG look out for me, bro. He showed me the ropes of the military. He showed me how to network. He introduced me to a lot of people on the ship who had access that I didn't have access to. And I remember, bro, I was on deployment, my first deployment, and I was in the slumps. I missed my grandma. I hadn't talked to her in a while. You couldn't make a phone call until you landed on land. You know what I mean? And bro, we went to the armory. I was a gunner's mate. He went to the armory. He was like, hey, what's your grandma's number? I'll never forget this. I gave him her number. He dialed it from the phone. And he said, here, you got like 2 minutes, bro.
Oh,
Bro, I
dude.
got that phone, heard my grandma, and I'm thinking like, what? I'm in the middle of the Persian Gulf right now. Like, how am I talking to my grandma, bro?
Wow.
I talked to her, let her know I was good, hung up. I gave him a hug, cried. I was like, bro, thank you for that. Like,
Wow.
I needed that. You know what I'm saying? And on my second deployment in 2012, there's this kid from Detroit. Shout out Jody Joe. There's this kid from Detroit who that reminded me of.
You were in that. You were in that.
Exactly,
He was
bro.
in.
I did the
Wow.
same thing. Took him to the army. Hey, what's your pop's number, bro? Boom, bro. He was so
Damn.
grateful for it. So I've always been a big believer of giving it. How do I say, bro? Paying it forward. Paying it forward, bro. You know what I mean?
That's amazing, man. Wow, that's amazing. So you got that going on. You got the Choose Wisely going on. Oh man, this is an amazing conversation. Let's see what else I got here.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. So you just now moved into this shop over here.
Yep.
You were on Airs.
Yep.
It seems like over there where you were at, there's a bunch of, they got the Candy Andy and
Shout out
Iron
Candy Andy.
Compound and all these other places over there.
Shout out Danny Boy. Yep.
Doing the same stuff out here. So you moved over here.
Yep.
Is there a reason why the move, or you got to open it up soon, or what you got there?
You know what, man? I was kind of wondering whether I should move or not. The opportunity came up because shout out to Eric over here at Texas Arena Strength and Fitness. We were cooking up some designs, and he was like, "Bro, how would it be if you were in my shop, like da da da?" And I'm thinking like, "Nah, I don't want to go over there. I'm comfortable here.
Right.
I was comfortable there.
Oh, wow.
And I liked it over there on the block on 4701, and there was just something that told me, bro. It was I don't know what it was, but something was like, nah, go. You should go. Bro was like, what are you paying here? I told him. He said, I'll match you, bro. I was like, damn, like he's giving me incentive to go over here, and I came up with excuses to stay over there on the block at 4701, and deep down in my gut, something was just telling me, nah, bro, like just go, like stop being comfortable, get out of your comfort zone, grow again. So ultimately, bro, I came over here, and he was gonna put a Coffee Waves in here because the owner was gonna do one over here.
Okay.
And he was like, man, bro, I'm gonna have this meeting with him. If he falls through, you could come get the spot. And I told him right there, I was like, bro, he's not gonna move in there. I'm gonna move in there. And he was like, let's see. Hits me up. He's like, man, bro, he's taking too long. He's not gonna come. I said, bet, let's do it. Let's lock in. So we locked in, bro, and it's been up since then.
Wow.
So we're gonna have our grand opening March 14th. Not this Saturday, next Saturday, and that'll be from 12 to about 6. Some come out, man, come support.
Yeah.
And super excited for that. We've done a lot of work to the place, bro. I have before pictures. It did not look like this.
It's nice in here.
It's definitely a vibe in here, bro.
Definitely.
We're super excited. We're working on getting everything stocked up in here, and I feel like this is just where I'm meant to be right now.
That's good, man. Yeah. That's good. So, do you feel like the location will have an effect on your sales? So does the location have an effect on your sales? Maybe when you were over there.
Nah, you know what? I did pretty well over there. I don't look at anything in a sense like if I'm on this side of town or that side of town. I have my clientele base. They're really faithful. I love new customers. I've been getting a lot of new customers lately.
Wow.
Word of mouth is great. I think if you're gonna start business and you're doing business, number one rule, bro, is just do right by people.
Yes, sir.
Don't try to get one up on someone. Don't try to scam them. Don't try to do any of that, because once your name goes bad, bro, it's gonna go bad.
Yes, sir.
So you do right by people, they're gonna acknowledge that. They're gonna continue coming back to you. And I'm real big on that, bro.
Nice,
just
man.
doing right by people. So
that's amazing, dude. That's good advice, man. Is there anything else you want to share? We're coming up in like an hour.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you having me on here, man. And one more time, we're gonna have the grand opening. On March 14th, that'll be from 12 to 6, and we're located at the Texas Arena Strength and Fitness at 5802 Woodridge. We're almost right here by Wings and More. Super excited to offer or to provide you guys with good quality products. I wear a lot of hats, man. If you have any questions, whether it's business or you want to dabble into designing or starting your own brand, I do all of that, bro. I'm a really good business consultant when it comes to that. I offer free consultation. I have packages that would be good for you guys if you wanted to start a brand. A lot of my packages include rollout plans, so I don't just print t-shirts on I don't print designs on t-shirts. I go way more in depth. What I do, it's a science behind it. There's a formula behind it. I've been doing it for a few years now, so I like to think that I know what I'm doing. Just if you've been thinking about starting your brand, if you had these designs in your head, or if you feel like you want to try something new, stop thinking about it and just do it. Tap in with me, DM me. I'll get right back to you. And that's about it, man. You could reach me at Lupe Ramos on my Facebook or on the IG at Choose Wisely 1991. For any guys who may need an ear to listen to, or someone to chop it up with, or if you're going through a tough time, I would like to extend this offer to you right now. Whether I know you or not, hit me up. I'll be more than willing to, do my best to lead you in the right way and have a conversation with you. And I want you to know right now that you matter, that Jesus loves you, and that whatever you're going through, you're gonna get through it. I promise you. Just keep going, man, and don't stop.
Yes, sir. Great advice, man. Also, if you want to get to know Lupe a little bit more, he's also on the Respond If You Please podcast. He just had an episode. Also, he's on Scoop Doses podcast, Off the Kush podcast from the Ride and High podcast. Were you on any other podcasts for Ride and High? I know you're on.
I believe that was it.
All right.
Yeah.
Check them out, you guys. I'll probably try to leave some links down there. But stay tuned. Corpus and Coffee, Corpus Christi Originals, you guys. We're out. See you later.